Thank you for watching the game today. Thanks for watching the game today. Yours truly, Cameron Haas. Thanks for watching the game today. Yours truly, Cameron Haas. Signing off.
Just take those old records off the shelf. I'd sit and listen to them by myself. Today's music ain't got the same soul. I like that old time of rock and roll. Don't try to take me to a disco. You never even get me out on the road. In 10 minutes I'll be late for the door. Stop playing old time of rock and roll. Still like that old with that old time rock and roll. Hey, she like that old time rock and roll. The kind of music just soothes the soul. I reminisce about the days of old with that old time rock and roll. Oh, she like that old time rock and roll. Down around the corner, half a mile from here, you see them horses run and you watch them disappear. Without love, where would you be now? Without love, no uptown is loose, down along the track. Lost a home and a family and you won't be coming back. Without love, where would you be right now? Without love. From the Illinois Central and the Southern Central Parade, keep on pushing my mom, 'cause you know they're running late. Without love, where would you be now? Na, na, na. Without love.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2017 Little East Conference Championship game. Today's game features the visiting Corsairs of UMass Dartmouth taking on the home team, the UMass Boston Beacons. At this time, we would like to introduce the coaches and players for both teams. First, for the visiting Corsairs, the head coach in his sixth season, Bob Prince. Associate head coach, Sean Manfredo. Assistant coaches, Dave Foraker, Mark Wimet, and Jay Schnabel. And now, the Corsairs starting lineup. In center field, number 6, Nate Tellier. A shortstop, number 3, Eric Ramirez. The third baseman, number 23, Mike Nell. First baseman, number 22, Taylor Cacciola. Left fielder, number 14, Ezekiel Sanchez. Right fielder, number 8, Kenny Michael. Designated hitter, number 32, Matt Curran. The catcher, number 33, Brandon Paglioni. And the second baseman, number 2, Josh O'Neill. The starting pitcher for the Corsairs, number 34, Gianni Esposito. And now the non-starters for the UMass Dartmouth Corsairs. Number 1, Luis Perdicia. Number 4, Cody Monty. Number 5, David Nichols. Number 7, Zach Courier. Number 9, Mitch Baker. Number 10, Zach Delvecchio. Number 11, Dylan Collette. Number 12, Jason Hudson. Number 17, Chase Hussey. Number 18, Robbie Carrillo. Number 20, Ryan Britton. Number 21, Sean Callahan. Number 25, Zach Reed. Number 26, Benjamin Lodge. Number 27, Kevin LaBelle. And number 36, James Lightholt. And now for the UMass Boston Beacons. The head coach in his 13th season, Brendan Eigebrodt. The associate head coach is Kevin Kelly. Assistant coaches, Bobby Barrett, Dan Gamble, Ryan McDermott, Sean Callahan. The starting lineup for the Beacons: second baseman, number 14, Josh Lopez. The designated hitters, number 7, Dan Mantoni. Third baseman, number 15, Kyle Boudris. First baseman, number 40, Chris Fowler. Left fielder, number 34, Nick Herzog. The right fielder, number 26, Luke Nagel. The catcher, number 13, Anthony Searles. Center fielder, number 20, Sal Frascino. And the shortstop, number 29, Charlie Hugie. The starting pitcher for the Beacons is number 39, Josh Gerson. And now, the rest of the remaining Beacons. Number 3, Eddie Riley. Number 6, Billy Hannafin. Number 9, Joey Rogers. Number 10, Ryan Grandy. Number 11, Joseph Dewey. Number 12, Bobby Tramadozzi. Number 16, Ryan McCormick. Number 17, Fernando Burgos. Number 21, Alex Carasato. Number 22, Steve Witkowski. Number 24, J.T. Morin. Number 25, Joe McGuire. Number 27, Anthony Pescara. Number 28, Matt Tully. Number 30, Chris Monroe. Number 31, Bryan Kaufman. Number 32, Kyle Carvello. Number 33, Kyle Penny. Number 37, Danny Brown. And number 38, Ben Gottesman. At this time, we ask you all to now please rise and remove your caps for the playing of the national anthem.
Good afternoon and welcome back inside the booth. Here at Ed Flaherty Field, we are set for Game 11, the final game, the championship game, a winner-take-all between the number 2 seeded UMass Boston Beacons and the number 3 seeded UMass Dartmouth Corsairs. My name is Colin Henry, going to be with you today with Sebastian Pettit. We'll be bringing you all the play-by-play and color analysis for this one. It's been an exciting day, an exciting tournament, and we're going to finish it off today, Sebastian, with two teams that have already played twice this tournament, and this will be the 5th time they've played all season.
Yeah, the rubber match, if you will. These two teams 1-1 against each other, both a win and a loss. Dartmouth taking care on one end, 8-7, while the Beacons of UMass Boston defeating Dartmouth 10-4 in a game that was completed this morning due to darkness. So both teams pretty familiar with each other. They also split the regular season series, so 2 apiece for the two clubs, and the winner of this one will have season bragging rights and an automatic bid into the NCAA regional tournament.
For sure, and it's funny too, the 2 times they played this tournament, both were suspended games. So they've played it every day, pretty much. You know, they played each other at some point every single day this tournament, and a couple times earlier this season as well. Just kind of funny, and they've been high emotional games too, and you know, tempers flaring at times.
A lot of these guys from the Boston area, from the Massachusetts area, play against each other dating back to before college. Everybody seems to know everybody here, and that doesn't change very much.
No, it doesn't, and you know, none of these guys like each other anyways, just in terms of conference competitors. Should be a good one. Going to be, if it's anything like the first two, a little bit of a slower game, as both these teams like to run on the bases. That slows the pitchers down. Everyone you got to think is available, except for maybe Sean Callahan, but like we said, it kind of
when he came out for the lineups, didn't have any ice or anything on his arm. He went 8 deep, so
who knows? We might see him today as well. Josh Gerson, will be the starter. Freshman in probably the biggest game of his young career, I would assume, Sebastian. 2-0 record, 2.61 ERA. Big guy out there.
Yeah, let's see if I can get a size up on Gerson. Yeah, he's a pretty big dude out there. That is, let's see, 6'1", 190 out of Melville, New York. Yeah, so pretty tall. Looks to be throwing pretty hard as well. So
he worked over 20 2/3 innings this season. Had 18 strikeouts.
There's
a line shot, base hit right up the middle. Tellier. So it's going to be pretty much the same lineup for both clubs. The only real change for Dartmouth is that Paglioni's back behind the dish.
And he's been the guy for most of the tournament, and I think the mindset of the Dartmouth coaches was, hey, we're going to put this, what was his name? I'm trying to find it right
now.
Baker, yep. We're going to run Baker at catcher, give Paulione a rest. If we can get this win against USM, we'll go with our guy, Paulione, the starter for the championship, kind of give him a little bit of a rest.
Well, here's Eric Ramirez, the shortstop. His average up to 310 on the tournament, hitting only 267. Dartmouth with the win against the Huskies, now 25-19 on the season. UMass Boston 32-10 overall. Big curveball in, and a big rip at that one for Ramirez.
And while it's nice for Boston to get this win and win the tournament, add something to the banner, I think their place in the regional is all but confirmed at this point. Dartmouth needs this win a lot more in terms of continuing their season than UMass Boston does.
Yeah, you got to think if Boston wins, USM and Boston would head to the NCAA tournament. If Dartmouth comes away with a win, then it'd be interesting to see if all 3 teams make the NCAA tournament. Rest of the defense for the Beacons, the number 2 seed, pretty much standard. Boudris, Hughie, Lopez, Fowler in the infield. Searles does the catching. Herzog, Froscino, and Nagel in the outfield, left to right.
Interesting. Herzog was playing right, Nagel was playing left, so maybe just some sort of...
Let me make sure I didn't get that mixed up. No, I think I have that right, yeah. I know at one point last night they brought in Danny Brown to play right field, and that did bump Nagel over to left field, I believe.
During the first couple of days, it was it went Nagel, Frashino, Herzog, and Brown would come in for Nagel in left. So interesting to see if that will play any difference, role switch kind of deal there for the Beacons, or even the Corsairs hitting to the outfield. Just seeing some faces mixed around here as the 0-2 coming now from Gerson.
This is, I was checking Tellier. That was only Tellier's 4th hit of the tournament. He had been scuffling a little bit at the top as the 0-2 was in the dirt. Dartmouth, as we know, likes to run. What are their steals up to now? They have 120 steals now on the season. I think they had 110 or something in the regular season. And we'll mention Zeke Sanchez. He's got a handful of them already here in the tournament. Ramirez standing right on the edge of the batter's box, crowding the plate. Here's the 1-2. Runner goes. Pitch is foul tipped at the plate. Caught the home plate umpire, Dan Boomer, on a foul tip. Ramirez not getting cheated up there.
Yeah, Boomhauer going for a little walk to ease the pain.
See, these are the delays in the game we don't need. We can't have. We had just about every kind of timeout and delay you could have last night, which resulted in a suspended game at about 8:10. I think we stopped playing. But
I mean, if you look at the,
we had injury, we had arguments, we had batters calling timeout, we had offensive timeouts, a pitching change. I mean,
now would not really be an ideal time for a darkness delay, as the forecast for tomorrow morning is 100% rain.
Yeah, no, it's
all day long.
Yeah, we just can't have it, you know. And also, you got to remember it's cloudy right now too, which cuts into the time a little bit. 1-2 the count. We're in the top of the first inning of the LEC championship. Curveball down low. Gerson has a good break on that bender. Almost too much as it darted out of the strike zone. Tellier on the season leads the team in steals with 25. I think he only has 1 so far in the tournament. Dartmouth just defeated the Huskies 6-3, 6-4.
Yeah, I believe it was 6-3.
That was an exciting game, kind of back and forth, especially in the later innings. UMass Boston handled Dartmouth to get here. Here's a pop-up, foul ground, I believe. Could be playable. 3 Beacons there, and no one's going to get it.
Yeah, it's a tough play, and everybody thinks that it's within their jurisdiction to go grab it. And at the end of the day, nobody gets there in time.
Man, that one hung up there too for a long time. I thought Herzog should have been able to get there, but he's shaded a little bit towards the gap if you see him now move over towards the scoreboard. Charlie Hughie gave it the best bid. He went full out diving onto the warning track. Well, already the pace is slow.
Yeah.
We're 2 batters in.
Yep.
The championship last year, I think, was Eastern Connecticut and Western Connecticut, 5 and 6 seed, interesting enough. This year, we sent the top 3 seeds to the final day, and we have a 2 versus 3 matchup. Said it had been 3 years since Dartmouth, I think, was in the championship, and 2010 since Boston made it to the championship. But these 2 programs have been pretty solid the last few years. It's just been tough to overcome the Huskies, really.
Yeah. And runner goes again.
Runner goes, pitch is swung on and missed. Throw down, not in time. A strikeout, but the runner is in there. That's Tellier with the stolen base. His steal number 26 on the season. Here comes Mike Nell. Mike Nell's been slumping a little bit this tournament, despite having that big homer, I think, early in the first game, but his average now down to 274. Nell in the tournament, he is only hitting 133, 2 for 15 so far in the tournament. And we got to step off the mound. Mike Nell, Taylor Cacciola hits cleanup. Ezekiel Sanchez hits fifth. Kenny Michael, Matt Curran, Brandon Paglioni, and Josh O'Neill round out the lineup for the Corsairs, the road team in this championship. Gerson fires one on the inside corner. Misses. Can't imagine when the last time two teams played each other 3 times in the Little East tournament was. I think it's been a while that we've even sent 3 teams to the final day.
Both stats, which would take probably a considerable amount of time to look up, I would think.
And we're going to have a chat here as Searles, one of the seniors, I believe, on this roster. Yeah, the senior leader, out to talk it over with his young freshman right-hander. Gerson, impressingly, Sebastian, had an opponent's batting average against of only 183.
Yeah, that's an impressive number, and I mean, if UMass Dartmouth hits 183 today, I cannot guarantee you that they would get a win. As that one's fouled back.
Gerson has worked both as a starter. He's made 3 starts and 5 relief appearances as well. Not a huge walk guy, only 8 walks in the 22 2/3 innings. Impressive numbers. Could be a pretty good player heading forward, only a freshman. 1-1 the count, 1 away. We're only in the top of the first inning. Here are the Little East Championship just underway.
Runner goes to third.
Man, taking off for third. Here's the throw. Is there, but a little bit to the foul side of the bag, and that allows Tellier to swipe third base. Man, he's doing his best Billy Hamilton impersonation out there. Takes second, then takes third. Good throw, might have got him, but it was a little bit to the foul side. Well, now any kind of ground ball or deep enough fly ball should score Tellier with his speed. Here's the pitch. Another breaking ball in for a strike. Seems to have a really good curveball. That seems to, so far in this first inning at least, be his go-to pitch. Infield back all the way around. Looks like
third base is in a little bit.
Third base is even, you're right. That's Boudris over there.
I guess, even. Shouldn't say in, as the shortstop is almost in the outfield.
It's tough, because kind of third basemen often don't play that deep anyways.
Yeah.
You know, as you move up, you see some third, like up levels, like pros, you might see them play. But third basemen are usually pretty close anyways. Yeah. But you got to think, maybe a ball hit hard right at him, he may come home. Here's the 2-2. Tried to come inside with a heater and misses. Already a lot of pitches piling up for Gerson.
Yeah, long first inning. We started this one at about 3:50 first pitch, and it's 4:09, so a 19-minute top half here.
Already, it'd be interesting to see how the bullpens get played out today.
Yeah.
Here's the full count offering. Goes to the curveball and misses upstairs. Well, trouble right out of the gate for the Beacons. And that's going to bring up Cacciola. Cacciola, the leading average hitter on the team, 383. He has 6 home runs. He's got to be an all Little East player, I would think, when the awards come out. Didn't know if we'd see him here in the championship. He got a little banged up in that first game today.
Yeah, happy he's able to make it out here for the championship game. He's had the pleasure of talking to him in between games yesterday. Nice kid. And you hate to see anybody, especially
man, swinging a drive deep and foul. He was going for it on that one.
That one hit the top of the I almost call them batting cages down there, but the net behind the softball field hit the top of the net.
Yeah, that is the batting cage, right on top. He's hitting well below his average here in the tournament as well. Only .214. He's 3 for 14 so far, but he is dangerous. As you see, high leg kick, big swing. Long hold for Gerson. And we have no pitch as time was called. Tellier at third, Nell at first. Gerson looking for the double play. Now he's going to check on the runner. It's cooled off significantly from this morning. The sun was out here this morning, too?
Yeah, it was out for a bit. It was really nice this morning.
Now it's clouded up, and that cool breeze pushing from right to left. There's a hanging curveball foul back. Third time these two have seen each other just in the last 3 days. 0-2. Goes to the fastball on the outside corner, gets the call. After a heavy dose of curveballs, Gerson comes back and paints the black. That is a huge out there, and that's going to bring up one of the hottest hitters this tournament, at least in my opinion, and one of the better players offensively, Ezekiel Sanchez.
Yeah, Sanchez playing pretty well these past few days. Looking for him right now. 385 throughout this tournament with 2 doubles. Also 4 for 5 stolen bases. So those, see 1 or 2 stolen bases by a lot of players, but I mean those start to add up. 4 for 5 in the tournament.
Oh, he was the one who tried to steal home in the first game, wasn't it?
And that's, I mean, if you take that one away, that's 4 for 4 on the tournament.
And he's played a phenomenal left field as well, and he's got an RBI chance here, but with 2 outs in the top of the first inning, Gerson gets ahead 0-1. See if Dartmouth tries anything here first and third. Now we get a fake.
Excuse me.
Keep a note of the outfield, too. Shaded to the pull side pretty heavy. Both of these teams were using that shading in the game I did last night. And it actually came into play on a couple. We had a ball that dropped into right field that probably would have been caught with normal defense. And then we had a line drive to straightaway center. I don't know. That was similar to where Froshino was. And it just got all the way to the wall.
Yeah.
That was a big part of that game.
One, there's one to center that goes to a wall. That's got to be probably 3, I would imagine.
Because, I mean, look, Froshino is, I mean, he's in the gap more than he is in normal center field.
Yeah, I think he's pretty much closer to standard left than he is standard center.
They must know that Sanchez is a heavy pull hitter or that Gerson's going to attack him inside. Gerson trying to keep his composure. Only a young guy, freshman. Curveball, nice pitch, but fouled off. Had Sanchez way out in front of that one. Gerson's out of Melville, New York. As you said, Sebastian, 6'1". He looked taller than that initially. Could be the pulled up pants, maybe. Gives him a little extra. One and two the count, 2 away, first and third for the Corsairs. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Pitch is high, and they won't even throw as Nell will take second base. That puts 2 runners in scoring position. About a 2-strike count. Zeke on the season had 26 runs driven in. He had a 4-homer regular season. Here's the 2-2. This one's sky, not deep. Shallow left field. It's going to be Hughie, the shortstop. who takes it and puts it away. Along top of the first inning, Corsairs strand 2 in scoring position. We'll head to the bottom of the first inning. Beacons coming up. All right, bottom of the first inning now. Beacons coming up for the first time. It'll be Lopez, who's one of the hottest hitters in the tournament. But first, let's look at the defense for the Corsairs. Mike Nell, Eric Ramirez on the left side of the infield, Josh O'Neill, Taylor Cacciola on the right side. In the outfield, Ezekiel Sanchez, Nate Tellier, and Kenny Michael from left to right doing the catching. Paulioni back behind the dish. And on the mound, Sebastian, community college transfer in Gianni Esposito.
Yeah, played in the Community College World Series. He has a 4.78 ERA, 1-3 record. This will be his 8th appearance. 20 strikeouts, 12 walks, and an allowed average of 262. So pretty good numbers there from the pitcher Esposito.
Kind of a herky-jerky delivery.
Yeah.
As he pumps one in. Kind of his weird, kind of rocks his body back and forth before coming to his balance point.
Yeah, Esposito, pretty big guy too, 6'4", 225.
And just interesting, you said, pitched in the Community College World Series. There's a ground ball at the middle. Ramirez has it, has to hurry. On the run, makes a nice throw for the out.
Yeah, his friend, I think that's number 36, James Lidehold, who I hope we see just based on size, is 6'8", 230.
Wow.
So it'd be interesting to see him on the mound as well.
Is he a pitcher?
Yeah.
Listed as a pitcher? Jeez.
Lefty.
Oh, man. Nice. That was a fine play by Ramirez up the middle there to retire Lopez, who has not been retired often. He was hitting .533 before that AB right there. Strike one to Dan Mantoni. Mantoni on the season hit .316 coming into this game. That one's in, but a little low. Mantoni basically hitting right at his average. .316 in the tournament, 6 for 19. And on the season, he's hitting .316. So there's a drive out towards right center, not terribly deep. Kenny Michaels under it. And there's two away. A good start here for Gianni Esposito, the junior community college transfer for the UMass Dartmouth Corsairs. Here's Boudris now. Kyle playing third base, hitting over 400,
Yep.
still on the season, 408.
Solid numbers from the... I lost the paper I'm looking at here.
Trying to
There it is.
I don't know what he's done this tournament.
Yep, sophomore.
He's been busy this tournament as well. He's 7 for 17.
Yep, 412 with a double, so good numbers for Boudris.
Yeah, the top part of the order, those three guys, I mean,
Yeah,
500 for Lopez, over 300 for Mantoni, and over 400 for Boudris. But there is a heavy fastball painted on the inside black. 2-2 count as Esposito takes a stroll behind the mound.
not sure if Fowler, Fowler got a hit in last night's game. You were doing the commentary on
Oh,
it.
I think he did. He was on base a couple times. One of the
that
links.
would put him at, if he had get a hit today, I would have put him at 35 straight games with a hit.
Really?
Yes, as I believe because he came into the tournament at 32.
Wow, you have to.
Is what
I
was
pulled
told.
up
That's
one of
what I
the-
was told going into the tournament, is that he had quite the hitting streak going.
Pop
And
up behind third base and foul. Ground ranging over is Mike Nell. Can't make the play. He overran it. One of the tabs on the computer there is the Beacon's website. You probably could. It looks similar to USM if you go to the, the game log or whatever. But that'd be impressive. 30-something game hitting streak. Fowler, he was definitely on base. He's hitting 386 now on the season. Man, he must have. His average must be climbing, I would think. There's another foul ball out of play. Esposito should be out of the inning, as Mike Nell just overran it.
Yep.
Man, a lot of 1 for
Wow.
4s, but yeah, he did yesterday too. There's a line shot towards the gap in center field. No one's out there. It's going to get down and roll out to the warning track. It'll be
Oh, nice throw.
a slide-in double, as that was a nice throw that came in from Nate Tellier, who we know has a strong arm. But it's a 2-out double for Kyle Boudris. He continues his hot hitting in this Little East tournament.
Chris Fowler.
Well, and here is that mentioned Chris Fowler. So as you said, Sebastian, riding a 30-something game hitting streak.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'll have the number. It's just you got to count it. There's no way.
There's no easy way to
There's
do
no
it.
easy way to do this. Actually,
I mean, on the
what's
tournament.
What's their record overall?
32-10.
All right, so 42 games. Let's see.
Long set
Yep,
for
it'll be-
Esposito.
It's 35 right now for Fowler. So a hit here would make a hit in 36 straight games, which has to be
It's got to be one of the longer
in the
ones.
country, I'd say.
I remember
Fowler's
Mike.
sick, yeah.
I remember when I played, a guy, Mike Eaton, a teammate of mine, had a 30-something game.
That's inside.
5 for 15 in the tournament so far is
Yeah.
Fowler.
So about 1 or 2 a game here, as he looks like he was a transfer from Wheaton.
Oh yeah.
No, it says high school, Wheaton College, right? I assume they just put that where he
I would
transferred.
say you're probably right.
He's listed 6'1", 195. Here's that one.
Oh, got him. So we're gonna have to wait to see if he will extend that hit streak as he takes his hit by pitch down to first base.
The left fielder, number 34, Nick Herzog.
Nick Herzog now, left fielder. Herzog, he's one of the ones that is below 300 on the season for the Beacons. 282, couple of home runs, 32 runs driven in, 9 steals for Nick. He's got an RBI chance here with 2 on and 2 outs, bottom of the first inning. First pitch is a breaking ball in for a strike. Trying to take advantage of that missed pop-up and foul ground a moment ago by Mike Nell. Inside, almost grazed him, but didn't catch the elbow. Boocher's doing some dancing out there at second base. Fowler has pretty good speed as well, too, for a first baseman. Another curveball in for a strike. 1-2 now. Both pitchers showing good breaking balls early in this one. Left-handed hitting Luke Nagel on deck. Here's the 1-2. High heat up under the chin. Now I got 2 quick outs, ground out and a fly out, and then a double, and then a hit by pitch. That one just missed. Outside and down. The defense wanted it. Full count, 2 outs. Runners are going to be off with the pitch. Here it is. And it's on the corner this time.
I mean,
can't take 2 that close if you're Nick Herzog. I mean, you got lucky, I thought, on the first one. Then you take almost the exact same pitch. Got to be swinging the stick, in my opinion. We're through 1, no score, but already some early action here in this championship game. Top of the second inning. 6, 7, 8 in the order for Dartmouth. Kenny Michael leads it off. He takes for a strike. Gerson back out there. Starts him with the first pitch curveball. Both pitchers, good curveballs in the first inning. There's another one, and it's in for a strike. Kenny Michael has a homer in this tournament. Hitting .333, 4 for 12, driven in 7 runs for the Corsairs so far. That one's outside. He drove in 32 on the season to this point. 1-2. Misses inside. Gerson had 2 strikeouts in the first inning. Gave up a hit and a walk as well. Grounded out to second. Lopez eats him up a little bit. Still has time to make a throw, but it won't be in time. Should go as an E4 on Lopez.
And that's pretty uncharacteristic of Lopez. Has been a solid player on both sides of the ball for
Designated hitter, number 32,
the Beacons.
Well, I wish I hadn't have thrown my defensive stats of the tournament away now, but I think you're right. Yeah, the Beacons have played solid defense to this point. And that one was hit hard, but right at him. I mean, I think if you ask Lopez, probably a ball he thinks he should have had. Still almost had time to make a play.
Only 6 errors on the season, make that 7 for Lopez. .956 fielding percentage. Checking out on the tournament, I believe that's the first error he had made.
Yep, that was. So very uncharacteristic. You knew it. We didn't need to check the stats for that. Now some speed on the bases, too, as Kenny Michael has a normal lead as Gerson holds it. And there's time, no pitch. Well, that's going to give us a second to talk about Matt Curran. Matt Curran's been probably the hottest hitter on the Dartmouth side of things.
Yeah, let's check out his tourney stats. Curran, .455 for the Corsairs, leads the team in batting average. He has 5 hits, 6 RBIs, a home run, and has crossed the plate himself twice. A slugging percentage of .727.
Well, and those are even more impressive because with those numbers, his average is still only .258. So shows you how low it was coming into this tournament. He's working on bringing it back up. He's got a big hole, too, on the right side right now with Lopez at double play depth and Chris Fowler holding the runner. If he can connect on a ground ball, he might be able to hook it through. Kenny Michael has speed. As I said, 9 steals on the season. Looking to try to time up Gerson. Looks like they're going outside with something. They are, and it's way outside, 2-1. Mac, big left-handed DH.
Runner goes.
Pitch is a strike. The throw is not a good one as it's cut off as it sailed towards the right field side of things. Stolen base number 10 for Kenny Michael. And he's in scoring position after the error. I was trying to do something here. Yeah, Matt Curran also listed as a pitcher in the program. He's thrown quite a bit, 26 2/3 innings. So a little bit like myself, pitcher DH kind of guy. Ooh, nice curveball there, and it gets Max swinging, and he's not happy that he chased that one. Third strikeout for Josh Gerson. Got to look for that curveball right now. That's his best pitch by far. Seems like he throws his fastball either in off the plate or out off the plate, and his curveball is right there on the money.
Paulione now stepping in his first at-bat of the day. He did not appear in the first game.
Yeah, he got banged up, I think, in one of those slide plays at home in the game I did, and I'm not sure if that's why he was out of the lineup or if they just wanted to go with Baker. But Paulione back in there on the season, only a 181 hitter. So it may just have been a case of going with Baker, who maybe gives you a little more offensively.
But Paulione, a very good defensive player.
He does have 3 hits this tourney, though. Yeah, because Baker had good offensive numbers, you said, 326.
And Paulione, 972 fielding percentage. 23 assists from the catcher position, it seems.
Yeah, also, Paulione is a junior, whereas Baker is a freshman. So maybe here in the championship game.
You just want that experience of having been there or close to there before.
0-1 count. The runner at second base is Kenny Michael. Here's the pitch. Check swing, pop foul. Another curveball. Dartmouth was 9-5 in the Little East, good for third place. UMass Boston was 11-3, just behind the Huskies, who were 12-2. High heat, man, gets him. That's a perfect pitch. After a lot of curveballs, then you show the fastball up a little bit above the zone. You can't lay off it, and you can't catch up to it because you're used to the slower breaking balls.
And that'll bring up O'Neill, the 9-hitter for the Corsairs.
O'Neill hits right around 300 as the 9-hitter, 295 on the season. O'Neill in the tournament, 4 for 14, 286 average, a couple of runs driven in. 2 outs, runner at second base, only in the top of the second inning. Can't say we're surprised by the pace of this one, based on the first two.
No,
these two
not
play.
in the slightest.
You know, wind's not really a factor today either, Sebastian. It is breezy, but I don't think it's going to affect the game.
The only factor I'm worried about here is darkness.
Yep. And right, last night we had some sun because the shadows were becoming a factor, and the sun was really shining into the right fielder's eyes at some point. Yeah, it looks like we're going to be in right until the sunset today again, I would say. They just might have to get rid of the award ceremony, maybe. That one's in. 2-1. O'Neill's trying to turn it over back to the top of the order. Also a base hit, in all likelihood, could score Kenny Michael from second base with his speed. Outfield straight away. Playing relatively shallow on the corners for Oshino. Medium depth in center field. Here's the 2-1. Roll down the line. It's going to be a fair ball right over the bag. Michael is going to touch third and score our first run of this championship. As in with a double is Josh O'Neill.
That's a solid piece of hitting, especially for the 9-hitter. And we'll score the runner, Michael. And it'll be the top of the order, Nate Tellier, the center fielder.
RBI number 14 on the season for O'Neill. Hard ground ball right over the bag and down into the corner for an easy double. And that's an unearned run as Kenny reached on that E4 by Lopez. Nate Tellier singled his first time, then stole a couple bases before he was stranded at third base. That one's outside. Looking at Tellier on the tournament with that last hit. I think I said that was only his 4th hit of the tournament. It was, making him now 4 for 15.
Yep.
That one's in for a strike, and the count goes to 1-1. A lot of pitches being thrown here in the early going. Another breaking ball. That one sweeps outside. We'll see how Gerson reacts after giving up a run. He's paying a lot of attention to the runner out there at second, Josh O'Neill, as O'Neill is doing some dancing. That one's in the dirt. Nice backhanded pick there by Anthony Searles to save a potentially wild pitch. Tellier came on to close the game for the Corsairs against the Huskies. He threw pretty well. Center fielder, hard thrower. I don't think he had any warm-ups either.
I don't think so. That one's hit hard on the third base line.
That one's going to be foul, though, past the bag. Because we were watching the bullpen, weren't we? I mean, throughout, we didn't see him get loose, I don't believe. Just straight in from center field to close out the Huskies. Full count now to Nate Tellier. First base is open. Eric Ramirez on deck. And we're going to get a check of the runner. Here's the 3-2. Curveball waved at and missed. What a pitch there on the full count.
Brought him to his knees.
To get Nate Tellier, may have ended up a little bit low, but he had to go after it with the full count. Side retired in the top of the second inning. They get a run to take the lead, 1-0, UMass Dartmouth.
The right fielder, Luke Nagel, leads off here. He's 2-0 in the count. 3-0, make that as that one he had to dance around.
Well, Esposito got a couple of quick outs in his first inning, but then a double and a hit by pitch slowed the bottom of the first inning down. And
A 4-pitch walk there.
And it doesn't appear we're going to have a quick inning here either.
Nope.
Think we'll have a 1-2-3 inning?
The catcher, number 13, Anthony Charles.
Probably not.
No. Worth discussing, though, is the batting statistics of this player, Anthony Searles, the catcher. So 141 at bats. He has 15 RBIs, 9 doubles, 4 triples, a home run. Great numbers. Look over toward the walks and the strikeouts, though. 33 walks and 48 Ks for the catcher.
Those are quite interesting numbers. So
it might be the craziest stat line.
He's only hitting 170. He's got some power, as you
Yeah.
said there, with some of those extra base hits.
As that one,
he walks quite a bit.
Crouched to bunt and thrown over his head did.
Searles, though, is hitting pretty well this tournament. He had at least 2 yesterday. What's he doing total? Well, he's only hitting 188, so he just had a good game in the game I did. 3 for 16 on the season. A clear bunting situation here as he was squaring. But we should have kept track on the number of pickoffs in this one. Probably going to have at least 100.
100 throwbacks. We might get a pickoff if we're lucky.
Yeah, I don't know if we'd count the step-offs, like the step-off second or whatever, but we've had both these teams. I mean, I don't know. Beacons have 67 steals, 120 for Dartmouth. So you know they're going to be aggressive. And both teams play a little small ball, too, so that, sets up some strategy. Taking, which is kind of weird because that pitch looked right down the middle. Maybe just trying to draw the defense in as Mike Nell now creeping in on the edge of the grass. The 2 hits Searles had last time, he just hooked them both to left field. He is swinging. This is rolled out to short. Ramirez doesn't have a play at second. Now he doesn't have a play at first as he couldn't find the ball on the transfer. That'll be an error.
And so far, it's 2 errors one by Lopez for Boston and 1 by Ramirez for Dartmouth. 2 of the best fielding players I've seen in this tournament.
And that could be huge because that, off the bat, looked like maybe going to be a double play.
Yeah.
You don't get any outs. And now all of a sudden...
Now there's still no outs at all. So 2 on, no out for...
This is Froscino, right?
Froscino, yeah.
Yeah, and he has speed, and he likes to bunt.
Yeah, Froscino, no slouch. 241 on the season, but 12 RBIs, 3 doubles, 28 hits.
He's had a tough tournament, 3 for 17. You got to think he'll be bunting here. Bunt trap is on as all the players are coming in. Now he's slashing, and it's a wild pitch. Not going to need to bunt as Esposito uncorks one. That is a wild pitch. And now with nobody out, we have runners on second and third. A little bit of a collapse here for Dartmouth to start the bottom of the second inning. Froscino's a very good center fielder. He has speed as well. 12 steals if he can get on, but he's looking for the RBIs now. Ground ball to Ramirez. Gonna come home with it. The throw is in time. The tag is there, and they get the out. Ramirez makes up for the error, at least for the time being, to cut down Luke Nagel at home.
Shortstop, number 29. Charlie.
That was a great throw. Ramirez had to even range to his left a little bit and then still spun and threw and had a lot of time, actually. They got Nagel by quite a bit. And this time, Paulione is able to hold on to the ball. He was having difficulty squeezing it yesterday. There's a swing and a drive to left, going back. Sanchez at the wall. Didn't make the catch. He slams into the wall. It's down for extra bases. 1 run is in. Over to third is Froscino. And in with a double is the 9-man, Charlie Hughey.
And that's what he can do. I've seen him hit a couple of those, I think, now to left and left center. He had one go off the wall earlier, and Sanchez, I mean, good thing he found that one quickly, because that could have been 3 if it bounced off the wall weird or anything of the sort. I thought he caught it at first, honestly.
Hit his glove, didn't it?
That's a hard play to make, because you're running into that wall. That doesn't feel great.
No, he was leaping at the wall and trying to catch, and it hit his glove, and then luckily it fell. Line drive to right field. Coming on, Michael has a shoestring catch. Now the throw home, a one-hopper, but not in time. It'll be a sacrifice fly for Lopez. Lopez making up for his error that cost his team a run with the sac fly.
What we can't take away is after an impressive hitting display here from the Beacons is the plays that these outfielders are making. Kenny Michael just threw a bullet about 200 feet to the glove of Paulione, just a split second too late, and Sanchez too after that. After that end of the wall, picked it up and he threw a bullet to third base and quite possibly kept that runner that ended up at home either way from getting there.
Yeah, and that throw that just a second ago by Michael, if that actually had landed a couple feet further away, it might have hopped up a little nicer to Paulione. Instead, it kind of short-hopped him, so by the time he gloved it, Sal was able to slide in there with a nice head-first slide. But you're right, that was a fine throw. 2-1 here in the bottom of the second inning. Some good action. So and errors costing both teams, and also the number 9 man in the order coming up with big hits on both teams.
Yeah, Hughie and O'Neill both contributing here, and goes to show you how deep every team in this conference can be, and the parity in it, and all of that stuff is a very competitive tournament, and showing that every bat is crucial to winning the Little East.
2 outs in the inning as well after the catch. And there's strike 3 called right on the outside corner. Dan Mantoni goes down looking, but 2 runs in the inning puts our score at 2-1 through 2 full innings. We'll head to the third. Corsairs coming up. Eric Ramirez to lead it off, and an interesting move, as we thought we'd see here in this do-or-die championship game. The closer coming in for the Beacons.
Yeah, I probably won't be going for the 7-inning save. But
I wouldn't think. I don't know if... Well, he'd technically get the win, I guess, at that point. But
but you could Mendozi
He's
Some
got
good numbers.
Yeah, great numbers. 6 saves on the season.
Does lead this Beacons program. 37 strikeouts, 6 walks, allowed average of 256. Solid numbers there from Tramondosi, the, I want to say sophomore, out of Peabody, Mass.
This is interesting. I'm not sure what the strategy is here. You know, a 2-1 game, maybe, you know, he got a couple innings out of Gerson, the freshman, get him out of there.
Just going to go through the rotation, maybe.
Yep, try to get, you know, a couple of goose eggs here from your closer, and maybe your team can extend the lead. Or he's just going to let his closer go as long as he can and start from there, you know, I don't know. 3-1 the count. Obviously not a situation Tramondosi, I'm guessing, has been in this year, pitching in the 3rd inning, and he walks him.
Third baseman, number 23, Mike Nell.
And Mike Nell, the freshman, will step up. Nell batting well during the tournament, season-wise.
He walked his first time up. Well, Tramondosi's now going to have to deal with these base runners, too, which he probably hasn't had to consider base runners much as a closer. You know, usually those guys aren't really concerned with runners that much.
Yeah, and with a 1.38 ERA, it doesn't sound like he gets a ton of those to begin with.
Yep.
Only giving up 5 earned runs on the season.
Another slider. This one's down and out. That one's foul back, and Tramondosi comes right back to get ahead 1-2 on Nell. Tramondosi so far this tournament, a couple appearances. He's 1-1. He's gone 5 innings, given up a run. Struck out 3. Check swing. No swing. Count will be 2-2.
That was close. He went just about on the line where it could be considered not a swing.
I thought maybe it was going to hit the bat, too, almost. Then it could have been a foul tip into the mitt. Full count here. Got to think Ramirez at least going to think about trying to get a jump off Tramondosi. Runner is moving. Pitch is high. Ball 4. Oh, he's walked the first two men, I should say, he's faced. And all of a sudden, this strategy of bringing in Tramondosi may be backfiring for the Beacons.
Possibly a little bit. Looks like we're going to get a quick little conference here as one of the pitching coaches is heading out to talk to Tramondosi. Maybe a little out of his element, Bobby, as he's, like as we've said several times, a closer, but in the 3rd inning. And in these make-or-break games, you don't usually, this is the only time you kind of see this as a make-or-break game with a lot of guys coming in and trying to just get fresh pitchers throughout the game.
Well, now you got a bunt situation, but I don't know if you'll see it here with the 3-hitter Cacciola. I don't think they expected this with Tramondosi, and this is very uncharacteristic of him. Did you mention his walks numbers?
Yeah,
only
37 strikeouts and only 6 walks, so that's about an average of 6-1, a little higher than 6-1 strikeout to walk.
So this to me is just a, kind of a guy that maybe not used to the situation and having trouble finding it. And now he hits a guy.
So now load the bases, and I think if you're Boston now, you got to think about bringing somebody else in.
Yeah, I think you got to get some action because clearly this is not paying off.
And I mean, this is not the guy you want at the plate right now, I don't think.
Oh, yeah, Zeke Sanchez popped up his first time, but 364 hitter. Well, the Beacons got 2 runs of their own and looked like they were going to gain some momentum, but then they come out here in the top of the 3rd inning. They walked 2 and hit a guy. And now the Corsairs are back in business. Swinging a drive high, not terribly deep to left. Right on the line is Herzog. Runners all tagging. The throw will go to third base as Ramirez scores the tying run. Sacrifice fly for Zeke. Another RBI for him in this tournament, giving him now 8. Or excuse me, hold on, I read that wrong. That's only his 2nd RBI. He has 7 total bases. So the 2nd RBI of the tournament for Zeke. High sacrifice fly. Now the outfield going to shift a little bit with Kenny Michael. That one's inside and tight. One and 0. Michael with that crouch stance, misses up high. Oh, almost a throw behind the runner at first. One out. Tramandozzi, the closer in the game, having trouble. Spins in a breaking ball. They do have action in the pen. Freshman Josh Gerson started. Went 2 innings. I thought threw the ball pretty well. Gerson actually had 5 Ks through 2 innings.
Yeah.
And the run was unearned, wasn't it, because of the error by Lopez?
I think so, yeah. So, I mean, the outing's not horrible. I mean, maybe at this point.
Maybe that was just the plan.
And
that had been the plan, maybe from the get-go to only go
I guess,
I mean,
yeah. I don't really
he was
see
throwing well.
I don't really see the problem with it. We haven't kept him in. I mean, at the end of the day, both these teams have amassed 2 hits apiece. So
right.
It's not like the pitching has been an atrocity either way.
Some walks and a couple errors mixed in. There's a tapper foul. LEC championship, automatic bid to the NCAA tournament on the line. Boston potentially #1 seed, in my opinion. I mean, looking at some of the rankings, they've been at the top of New England.
Yep.
And with a conference tournament win, could lock them up for a #1 seed potentially. Full count, 1 out, runners may be moving here. Another spin off the back of the mound.
Ooh, that's...
What did they say? Just over the bag, but foul. No signal by the umpire, but I think, foul call. The runners were being waved around. Another full count offering coming. Tremendozzi to the belt. Here's the pitch. Popped up behind home plate. Maybe playable. No. Coming back into the crowd and right in front of us. Could have had a play. Oh, full count number 3 coming here with 1 out. Runner at second, getting a bigger lead now is Mike Nell, maybe thinking about going. They don't. Here's the pitch, and it's tap foul. We'll have to do it again. Nell at second. Cacciola at first. He was hit by a pitch. Sac fly for Zeke Sanchez in the inning has us tied up at 2. Slider fouled off. Man, what a battle going on here by Kenny Michael. 4th foul ball on the full count. All right, here we go again. 2 on, 1 out, full count. Here's the pitch. Swinging a drive deep to left. Hooking foul. Over to look at it is Herzog, but it'll be another one on top of the batting cage. 2 of those today.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
We've had 2.
I mean, if that stays fair though, that ball's out.
Yeah, that one definitely had home run distance, but off the right-handed batter, just hooked. Ball 4. What an at-bat for Kenny Michael. And he is pumped up, and I would be too after he fouled off numerous pitches and then worked a walk. And now bases loaded for Big Mac. That's got to be his nickname, I think.
I don't see a world in which that is not his nickname.
I'm surprised I didn't think of that until now, but...
Oh, I got to tell you, Colin, the last time Matt Curran stepped to the plate and there was a man on every base, that ball traveled at least 420 feet.
That was the home run you were talking about, right? Oh, man. Well, that would really open it up, and really even a base hit or a double could open it up here. Already 2-2. Slow pace as we expected. I mean, these two... I don't even want to know the game time.
My birthday's Wednesday.
I don't even
want
want
to say. I'd like to celebrate.
I don't even want to know the game time totals for these 3 games these guys have played.
I mean, 5 on the season as well. So I wonder what if the regular season, if it was anything like the regular season. Well,
the doubleheader they played, I think, was the first weekend of the conference. So maybe they didn't know Dartmouth stole all those bases at that time. So I don't know.
I heard it actually took the whole weekend.
Yeah, seriously, right.
Ooh, nice hit there by Curran, but foul. Good contact. You can tell he's in the mood. He's been one of the best players at the bat, if not the best player for the Corsairs throughout the duration of this tournament.
He struck out against Gerson on a curveball. Let's see if Bobby goes to that here. From the windup, he does and misses outside, brought it around the plate. I mean, yesterday... we started...
Just don't throw him an inside fastball. I think
yesterday we played over 3 hours.
Yeah.
And we didn't finish. So another breaking ball outside, 2-2. So, and I think the first one that got suspended, that must have been a 3 hour plus, I'm guessing, by the end of it.
was 3:04 when it got postponed, and then about another 12 minutes after that.
Yeah. Today was
This
pretty.
morning was less than 5 minutes. It was pretty quick. It was only 2 outs.
But still, you're talking 3 hour, 15-minute games. I mean, that's for major leagues. You see that more often, but for college, usually it's 2 hours,
gotta think
2.5,
all the stuff that goes on during a major league game.
Right, commercials and
yeah,
stuff like that. That's what I mean. College games are usually more 2:30 average. Full count, bases loaded, swing and a miss, strike 3. Got a fastball by him. Matt Curran's gone down twice today.
And it brings up, is that Paulione coming up now? I believe it is. Yep.
33, Brandon Moyani.
Paulione.
11 RBI, 3 home runs. Does have that power. 4 doubles, a triple, and a 181 average.
Well, remember we said they went with Paulione probably for his experience and maybe his defense ability, only hitting 1-something on the season, 181 coming into this game. But a big spot here, 2 outs, bases loaded. Swing and a foul, 0-2. Tramandosi, I can't believe I'm saying this, is 1 strike away from getting out of this inning.
Yeah, and we were worried a little bit earlier if moving to him was the right move, and here he sits 0-2, possibly on his way.
Started with bases loaded, nobody out. Rolled foul, staying alive barely is Brandon Paulione.
And we'll do it again, 0-2.
Here's the pitch. Swinging a drive deep to left field, going back. Herzog's, this one's deep. He's at the wall. It's off the wall. 2 runs are in. Here comes the 3rd run, touching 3rd and trucking his way in is Kenny Michael. Big time hit by the junior catcher.
And I think it's officially time to set it into panic mode here if you're the Beacons. I think that'll be the end of Tramandosi's day on the hill.
Tramandosi comes in, walks, the bases loaded, gives up a sac fly, and then a bases clearing double off of the wall. I thought that one had a chance to get out off the bat. It hits about halfway off the wall. 3 RBIs for Brandon Paulione. Beacons in some trouble here in the 3rd inning. 5-2. We'll take a break as we have a pitching change from Ed Flaherty Field. Well, new pitcher, and they're going right to their other top closer type of guy, Bryan Kaufman.
Yeah, Kaufman, some good numbers here. 1.29 ERA, 1.0 on the season. This will be his 18th appearance. Has 2 saves, and the first pitch will be a ball. 25 strikeouts, 14 walks, allowed average of 2.49 for Kaufman. Well, if I was looking at the right roster,
I know, I hate that.
I would tell you the junior out of Farmingdale, New York.
That's what's tough when you're doing 2 teams that aren't your teams.
Yeah.
You're looking at, you never know whose roster, whose stats you're looking at. Well, I mean, if Kaufman comes out here and gets knocked around, then they've used already Tremendosi and Kaufman. At that point, things could get out of hand. Ground ball up the middle. Lopez has a little jump throw, and in time. Man, that was smooth there for Lopez.
Yeah, that's a good play by him.
4 runs in the inning, right after the Beacons go ahead 2-1. The Corsairs come right back for 4 of their own. 5-2, Dartmouth with the lead. All right, well, no sign of a new pitcher for Dartmouth, as Gianni Esposito is still out there. I mean, Tremendosi just didn't have command. Walk, hit by pitch, sac fly, walk, struck out a guy, then a double with 2 strikes. Brandon Polioni with the big hit right now.
Yeah, Polioni, the difference maker so far in this championship game. Kind of a surprise hero given the fact he's a 180 hitter.
Yeah, so, and I was just looking, 4 of the 5 RBIs for Dartmouth, 8-9 hitter.
Yep.
8. You said the 185 hitter, Polioni the 8 hitter, and then O'Neill had the first RBI on a double for Dartmouth. Probably still a long way to go, though. Well, we know we have a long
we have a long way to go.
We know we have a long time to go, but in terms of events still to happen, we probably also still have a long time to go with these 2 teams as they really scrap and claw at each other. I don't think the Beacons are going anywhere in this one. Swing and a pop-up.
Could be trouble.
Yeah, it's going to be foul, though, but over is
Sanchez.
Zeke.
Oh.
Zeke
Yeah,
makes the catch. Holy moly, full speed into the wall.
Yeah, I don't know if he's good yet. Oh, no, he's going to get right up. I don't know why I dare say that. This dude crashed into the fence earlier in the tournament making a catch.
I don't know how the fence is still standing.
Yeah.
That dude is solid, and he was going full bore.
Dude looks like a running back.
What a catch out there. Holy, 1 out, man.
He's got that Le'Veon Bell kind of build.
Yep.
Churning those legs to the fence.
I thought no chance he was going to get there, and he just came out of nowhere, and now he's trying to flag him down, but the way this... Nope. All right. He is going to stop him, so he's all right. Maybe just got the wind knocked out of him a little bit,
I mean,
it looked like.
Would assume so.
Well, 1 out. What a catch. Best defensive play we've seen today. Here's Chris Fowler looking to extend that hit streak.
Yeah, looking to make it 36 in a row, and
There's
that'll
a swing
do
and a
it.
drive. That should do it if it stays fair. It's down the line and up against the wall. Chris Fowler, a one-out double to extend his hit streak. Man, he is locked in.
The left fielder, number 34, Nick Herzog.
Runner in scoring position for the Beacons. Here's Nick Herzog. Takes for a strike. The Beacons scored their 2 runs thanks to a walk and an error and a big double by Charlie Hughey. Esposito checks, now fires, and breaks in a curveball for strike 2. There's the 0-2. A little bit high on the fastball. One and 2 the count. Herzog struck out looking his first time. Only 3 hits apiece to this point. Fowler dancing out there at second. Curveball in the dirt, no advance. Two and 2. 1 out, runner on second. Ramirez checking him a little bit. Now the pitch, and is a check swing in the dirt. He didn't go. Full count now after being 0-2 to Herzog. Inside and miss. Ball 4.
And
0-2 to ball 4. Man, it's just the way these two teams go.
I guess, yeah. Now, you look at it, kind of Boston in trouble with 1 out, tying around at the plate. I wouldn't put it past. I just drew a blank there on the name. I think that is
Herzog.
Herzog. No. Nagel.
Nagel's coming up, yeah,
Yep,
lefty.
there it is.
There's a drive out towards left center. Sanchez battling the slice. It's over his head. All the way to the wall. Fowler is in. Herzog's right behind him. He's wheeling around third, and he will score to make it 5-4.
And then, that's what I was about to say before that bomb toward the fence is that, at this point, I wouldn't put it past a player like Nagel to just hit one up to the fence here and even over it and tie this game. But
he beat Sanchez out there, and Sanchez got a good break on it, but then some slice allowed it to get over his head. And all the way to the wall. And you got to give credit to Nick Herzog. He was wheeling around the bases.
Kid was flying.
He was halfway to third by the time Fowler got to third. Two RBIs for Luke Nagel. Gives him now 14 on the season. Curveball in for a strike. Nagel on the tournament now with that double. If I can find him.
Ooh, and that one's going to get... it's going to land right in the glove of
That was trouble, too. And actually, that's a big hit for Nagel because he was only 2 for 11 in the tournament, hadn't driven in a run. So that's going to feel good for him as popping out to second base, or excuse me, shortstop is Searles.
That'll bring up Frashino. Frashino looking to bring in Nagel here and tie this up 5-5. And it's 5-4 now in the third inning, looking to make it 5-5.
You see this sometimes later in the tournament, you know, as you move forward, pitching gets a little thin, especially a team that's seen the same team 3 times now. That always favors the hitters.
This week.
Yeah, the more hitters are going to get more comfortable. Pitchers are getting worn down. You know, it's cold. The hitters have had more at-bats. You got to think that favors the offense. But I don't know what the Beacons are going to do about their pitching because they're on their second best relief pitcher right now. That one's in for a strike.
After using their number 1 relief pitcher.
Sal thought it was a little bit up. 0-2 the count. Swing and a miss, high heater.
Yeah. I mean, out of the inning, I guess, are Dartmouth, but doing the exact opposite of what I think they need to do there. I think if they hold Boston blank, it puts them in the driver's seat. But now, really is anyone's game as both teams combined for 7 runs, but 7 hits, but 9 runs total.
I know, it's been hectic. 5-4 through 3. We'll throw it over to Sebastian for all the play-by-play when we come back right after this. All right, back here for the LEC Championship. 5-4, Dartmouth with the lead. Colin Henry alongside Sebastian Petta. Now let's throw it over to Sebastian for all the play-by-play of the middle innings. Sebastian?
Yeah, Tellier stepping in now. The leadoff guy, or the number 1 hitter, I should say, leading off. Tellier on the season a little bit under 300. 297 as he bounces that one to short. The throw will be in time. Good play there by Charlie Hughey to make the out, and the long dumping throw.
Yeah, that was a great throw because Tellier obviously runs very well, and that was in the hole a little bit, but got rid of it so quickly. Plenty of time, actually, to get Tellier.
And that'll bring up Eric Ramirez, 310 on the season. I'm looking for his tournament numbers. It's got every player in the tournament sorted.
Yeah, Ramirez is up to the top.
Yeah.
I had him underlined there. The wind's been blowing my papers around, so I don't know where mine are.
As that one's hit into the gap between first and second base, and Ramirez will be in there with a single to try to get the offense going for the Corsairs in this top of the 4th inning.
For Eric Ramirez, that was his fifth hit in the tournament. He walked earlier in this one.
Baseman number 23, Mike Nell.
And now the freshman.
Let's see. Now, there we go. Still Kaufman out there on the mound. Just me, or did it just lighten up a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. Nothing too serious here. Is Mike Nell 2 for 15, I think it says in the tournament, but does have that home run from the other day, so
he's
definitely showing off his power.
Walked twice too today.
That one skipped over the pitcher. This could be trouble. Fielded by Lopez, and it is trouble. And Lopez now slips and kicks the ball a little bit. Still hasn't picked it up, and there he goes.
Should be an error, yep.
And that's the second error of the game after a 1,000 fielding percentage in the tournament and 960 on the season.
That one was a little tricky.
Yeah.
He had the runner to think about, and it was a weird chopper, and I think he probably thought he had to hurry. Could have had some English on it. Could have been one of those ones with funky spin, but a play he should have at least been able to get the runner at first base.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I love the hacks Cacciola takes.
Yeah, I know.
He doesn't get
seems
cheated.
like every time he comes out there, he's trying to put one over the fence and get his teammates fired up. As the first baseman and senior, I do believe. Yep.
Yeah, Cacciola is one of their leading players, one of their seniors, as was Sean Callahan, who we saw pitch a gem earlier in this one. He's the mentioned Corsair in the program here. 42 games he had in his career coming into the tournament.
And a career that will continue if his team can get the win today.
Well, they're playing well enough, too, offensively. They're putting a lot of things together with walks and taking advantage of errors and big hits, but it's going to be interesting to see. Could just come down to, you know, who gets more runs in that last time up, you know, or who has the last at-bat, potentially, which obviously is Boston in this case.
As that one's way outside. And the 1-2 to Cacciola. Swing and a miss, and they got him.
Yeah, chased a high one there. That was well out of the strike zone. Cacciola takes with him the strikeout and, more importantly, the second out of the inning. Good sequence there by Kaufman to come back with the high heat.
And this will bring up one of the players of the tournament in my eyes, the left fielder, Ezekiel Sanchez. He's hit .385 in the tournament, 5-4, 13, 2 doubles, and an RBI. And I think, more importantly, his defensive output. He's made 2, maybe 3 outstanding catches in left field. One up against the fence we talked about earlier, and just his throws from the outfield, too.
No, that one a moment ago where he slammed into the bullpen fence was pretty miraculous. Drove in a run with a sac fly as well.
Reminds me of a Cespedes-type player.
You can see that.
Good hitter, great arm.
He's rugged, too, man.
Yeah.
He had a great season, too. Stole 20 bags almost, hit 4 homers, 26 ribbies. Played in 39 games.
This will be his 40th and 364 on the season.
Walked 15 times, had almost a 500 OBP.
And that'll be in there for a called strike to Sanchez. 0-2 the count now. Down to their last strike in the inning are the Corsairs.
I mean, Kaufman doesn't have as many saves as Tremendozi, but his numbers are just as good.
Oof. And he'll eat that one up. And as my dad taught me, everything's better when it's free, and Sanchez will take his base.
Well, especially with 2 strikes on him, he's happy to take that one. Man,
Number 8.
the amount of walks and hit by pitches so far in this one.
And this will bring up Kenny Michael, 2 homers on the season, 19 doubles, 32 RBIs, I believe, earlier in the tournament. Michael did hit a home run, and
I mean, we have not, you said this, 9 runs, but only 8 hits total.
yeah.
We've had 2 errors apiece, a little bit, getting a little sloppy. Fatigue probably a factor at this point, especially mentally for both of these teams.
Yeah, but as I said, Michael showing off the fact that he does have that distance ability here, and if he were to put one out here, I think that would blow the game pretty wide open at this point.
Yeah, and he had a walk. He scored twice already. He's having himself a good day. Stole a base. The shot he had in the game I did was just a line shot out there in left center.
Clipped the bottom of the scoreboard, I do believe. Swing and a miss there. I don't think he was sure he wanted it, but still found himself swinging because he didn't really swing all the way through it.
Kaufman, in his 49 innings, though, only surrendered 1 home run.
Wow.
Tough guy to square up. Tough guy to get out of the park, too.
As that one's going to be outside. 1-2 now to the right fielder, number 8, Kenny Michael. And the 1-2. And they're going to ring him up there as that caught the outside corner.
Yeah.
And
went back to the slider. That was a nice pitch right on the outside corner.
Yeah. And the Beacons worked their way out of a bases loaded jam. Will take it bottom 4. 5-4 in favor of the Corsairs in the LEC Championship. And it'll be the shortstop, Charlie Hughie, to lead it off in the bottom of the 4th. Beacons trail 5-4 here as Hughie looks at a low outside ball 1. Let's get a look at Hughie.
Hughie had a big hit. He had that double his first time up, which drove in a run. That was in that 2-run second inning. You know, he's a good defensive shortstop. His offense this season was a little bit down, 253, but he did have a homer and drove in 25, and he's come up big here in the tournament.
That one's in there for a called strike, and Kind of looking for the pitching stats here for Dartmouth, if I can find them. They're right in front of me. Esposito, in his 8th appearance, has that will be a walk, and that didn't look like it felt great. If it hit him, I couldn't tell if it hit him.
I don't know. I didn't see. I was reading. I'm reading the notes here on the Beacons coming into the tournament. They were the hottest team, really.
Yeah,
12
they had won,
games,
yeah,
I think.
12 in a row.
You know, they scored a lot of runs, so I think that's why they're probably pretty confident, even being down. They were 3rd in runs. Chris Fowler, as we talked about, he was up to 391 thanks to that hitting streak. And Kaufman was leading the LEC in ERA at the time with an ERA of 1.
And this will bring up Lopez, the second baseman. Not having the best day in the field, has made 2 errors, and his only 2 errors of the tournament is he is hit by a pitch, and he loves it. He will head down to first. Lopez, one of the more charismatic individuals on this Boston squad, that always seems to have some sort of emotion after anything that happens.
That he does. He grimaced a little bit at first, but after about a second, he wasn't going to show it, and he was clapping his way down.
What are you
going
to do, right?
Yeah. He was clapping his way down to first base.
And still clapping. He's still clapping.
You got to love the energy, though. I mean, he's a junior. He's a spark plug. He's a fiery guy. You know, he's the classic guy that if he's on your team, you love him. If he's not on your team, you absolutely hate him, and he drives you crazy.
I was saying that earlier. He's probably, if you're one of the Beacons or Beacons fan, player, anything, he's probably a joy to be around. But I think if you're playing against him, he's probably
I had him on
favorite.
I had him on my team. I had him on other teams. You know, I'm sure they were great guys, or you love to have them. But when you're playing against them, God, they're just annoying, and they just drive you crazy. And part of why they drive you crazy is because they're good.
Right.
You know, and Lopez is a solid player, and that's part of it. But just, you're right, his personality, his energy. But right now, that's what the Beacons need. Boston was the hottest team coming in. Dartmouth, although they were not hot, they were 2-4 in their last 6 heading into the tournament. But they have been hot here in the tournament, making their way to the championship. Talks about their stolen bases. They're up to 120 now in steals. Nobody out, and let's see. I was just going to say we probably have a bunt situation, but we might have a pitching change first.
Yeah, and looks like everybody will head back as Lopez, the runner on first, is going to jog back, maybe get a Band-Aid, I don't know. Ice pack. I don't know. What do you do after that? You just kind of wear it?
Yeah, I think not much you can do on that one. It's going to sting. You got to have a bruise for sure. But it'll feel a little better if he scores, I'm betting.
Yeah, it'll be a pitching change, and we'll be back here in a couple minutes with the stats for the new Dartmouth pitcher here on LEC TV. So it'll be Robbie Carrillo here for the Corsairs in his 25th appearance. Usually the closer leads the team in saves with 3. He's got a 2.35 ERA, 14 Ks, 13 walks, and an allowed batting average of 227.
Talk about a guy who's been important right out of the gate in his career, a freshman.
And
That's
Mantoni.
a foul in the box, but only a freshman. Carrillo leads the team in appearances. This is now appearance number 25.
Yep.
He's pitched in every game in the tournament,
Yep.
which included 2 today.
Yeah, I guess.
Right? That's what we said earlier, right?
Yeah.
Because I looked and
I'm
he's
trying to
pitching.
remember if he was pitching this morning in the early. Because if so, this would be the 3rd game he's pitching today.
He probably
I
no,
don't think he
no,
was
because
close.
they were up. Dartmouth was
Yeah,
batting,
yeah,
right? So,
yeah.
but he pitched against USM and now pitching again. He had pitched earlier in that game,
Yes.
yesterday.
So his 3rd game in 24 hours.
Just getting some work in.
It's that time of year here, as I don't know what that was, but
That was
Ramirez and O'Neill have switched places.
that was an interesting play. Some kind of probably just deception of the runners, maybe, or the batter. As you're right, Ramirez and O'Neill just switched places. Looking back at some of the tournament history, UMass Boston actually was the regular season champ last year, but then, as we said, 5 and 6 seeds made it to the tournament champion. It ended up being Eastern Connecticut. These two teams have not matched up in the tournament championship before.
As Mantoni stands in, see if he shows bunt. He will not. He'll swing away, and both runners will steal. So now 2nd and 3rd, no outs here for the Beacons. Good position they're in. And I'm not sure what's going on here, and they're calling someone out. I don't know.
No, Dartmouth is asking if it was a foul tip that hit the dirt. The home plate umpire said it was a foul tip into the catcher's mitt, which basically is just like a swinging strike.
Right.
But Coach Prince for Dartmouth wants them to get together and talk and see if it hit the dirt, because if it was a foul tip off the dirt, then it would be just a foul ball.
Right.
So they're going to check with the 2 base umps to see if either of them saw anything. Which that could be a big play, because that could be...
could change something here for the teams.
Yeah, because that would be a foul ball, and then the runners
you
would have to go
run
back.
that.
Your attention, please. The concession stand is offering the following blue light special. Hot dogs and burgers, $2. All candy, $1. Soda, Gatorade, and water.
And here
$1.
come some of the more eager guys looking to get a bite to eat for dinner
Hey.
as they announce the clearance sales for the concession
They're,
tent.
they're trying to get rid of hot dogs. Just send them our way, you know?
Yep.
God, the way this game, the pace of this game, I could have about 10 more.
And they'll hold the runners as that one bounces out.
Well, they stick with the call, so it ends up being a 1-2 count now on Mantoni. I'm surprised the infield's not in, but I guess Dartmouth has the 1-run lead, so they'll give up the tying run to take the out here. Carrillo, a very good ground ball pitcher.
As that one's hit hard by Mantoni. High toward the left center wall and into the wall. Did he catch that? Nope, he didn't.
They do say he caught it.
And so they're going to step on the bag there. And here we go as here comes the Boston coach. I'm sure the Dartmouth coach will be out. He already is out. But if there's 0 outs, I don't understand why they don't go back and, yeah, tag that base, and that should be.
This is going to end up being a triple play if I had to guess.
Yep. Yeah, here we go. Here, everyone's out of the dugout now.
Although they called time before, I don't know who had the ball, Ramirez. They called time.
I don't know who caught it, actually.
Sanchez caught it off the wall, and it banged into the wall. I mean, I have no idea. We can't really see. The base ump was right there. He made the signal. He signaled out. All the runners were going, right? No runners tagged up, I don't think.
No, nobody tagged up. So it would be.
But I think when they threw it in, they tagged second, so it's definitely a double play. But by the time he went to tag third, the base ump had already signaled time because the coaches were out.
Yeah.
So I don't know what will happen to the runner. Who was at third? Hughie was the runner at third.
Yeah.
Lopez is definitely going to be out.
Yeah. Lopez is standing on third still, as if
So I
thinks
think
he may be safe. I don't know there.
I don't think he tagged up.
I mean, you can tell he's still smiling, so. But I think it's going to be a few minutes before we get this one figured out.
I mean, the question is whether people tagged up. I was watching the ball. So So Mantoni's walking off, so it was a catch.
Okay, so there's one out.
Okay, there's definitely an out. Is there a runner on third?
Lopez is still standing there. Could be.
So did Hughie score? Did Hughie tag and score?
Oh.
Okay, so
according to them, they both have tagged.
okay, so Hughie. Well, I'm probably 100% sure Hughie tagged up because on that, he's on third. He's watching. Hughie would have tagged up. Lopez, I'm not sure about, and I think that may be what Coach Prince is upset about. Is that they're not going to get Lopez out.
I guess they're going to say a run. He's pointing to home plate. Okay, so that'll bring in a run. So the game's tied at 5.
So I'm thinking what Coach Prince is so upset about is that they say that Lopez tagged up at second, but they get the run from third and a catch. And so maybe Coach Prince is upset that they didn't see that he didn't tag up. There's one out.
And now we're going to get another conference here between a couple of the umpires. Oh. Looks like we're good to go now.
God, man, that was a tough call anyways to see if he even caught it. Because he was banging up against the wall. It's hard to tell if it hits off the wall and then goes into his glove or if you're seeing it into his glove.
Yeah. But nevertheless, I think Boudris, 15 at the bat. Kyle Boudris, 1 out. Lopez on third. Chance for the Beacons to take the lead back. 5-5 here in the bottom of the 4th. Approaching 2 hours since first pitch.
A lot of the confusion, I think, was too because of Mantoni continued to run.
Yeah. As that one's hit hard into right center, and that'll drop in. UMass Boston will take the lead, and a single for...
At Boudris?
Yes, Boudris. I was a little confused because Lopez kind of waited on third for a bit, and it dropped in, and then after a few seconds he crossed the plate, so I don't really know what I mean. Nevertheless, he crosses the plate.
Well, as a runner on that case, because it's hit into the outfield, you're going to tag up right away. So he was waiting to make sure it got down, and so then when one hopped out to Kenny Michael, that's when he then decided to come on home. And actually, Michael made a strong throw, as we've seen him do many times this tournament. So that's a big run. You know, we thought maybe Lopez had left early and didn't tag up on that play, but they say that he did, and it turns into the tying run. Already fireworks, man, in this one. Holy. Well, here's Fowler. Fowler had a season as well. You mentioned that hit streak, but 6 homers as well, 46 RBIs. I mean, he's going to be an all-conference player.
Going to have to be, especially the way he's hit all season.
Yeah, a lot of the stars have been shining here in the tournament. Kyle Boudreaux's a guy, too, hitting over 400, just drove in his 31st RBI.
Ooh, that's inside.
Wow.
Ball 4.
Well, now all of a sudden, Carrillo maybe getting a little bit flustered as there's some action down in the pen. They've yet to retire Fowler in this game.
2 walks and a double, I believe, for Fowler. Or a single.
Hit by a pitch, a double and a run, and a walk. Yeah,
I think that'll be it for Carrillo. Let's see. Kind of wait here, see if the dugout comes out to greet him.
Oh, the dugout is out. We'll wait until we
Everybody in the pen kind of just staring.
What do we got? It's going to be first and second, and a dangerous Nick Herzog due up. Yep, there's the signal right there.
Yep, that'll be it for Carrillo. And we will be back shortly. New pitcher for UMass Dartmouth. And as Herzog steps to the plate, it'll be Ben Lodge on the hill for the Corsairs. His 16th appearance this season, has a 6-2 record, 4.37 ERA, save on the season. Also, 47 strikeouts, 19 walks, and an allowed average of 238. Decent numbers for the junior.
Yeah, he's a 6'4", 190 out of Blackstone, Mass. You said 6'4", tall, lanky guy. Big situation here. I mean, things getting dicey, obviously.
Yeah.
6-5 now, but a double play ball is what Ben's looking for here against Herzog.
As that one will go out to the side of the catcher, Paulione, and the runner's unable to advance. Two and one now to Lodge, or from Lodge to Herzog.
Now we're up to 11 runs with only
9 hits.
With only 9 hits.
Yeah.
A lot of walks, some interesting plays, a few
Nice
errors
pitch there,
mixed
just
in.
a little high. 3-1 now. Hitters count to Herzog. And that'll catch the corner. Count goes full.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what they do here, Sebastian. They may put the runners in motion. Fowler.
Yeah, I'm saying send it.
Boudris runs very well at second.
Payoff pitch. And they'll ring him up there. Herzog will go down looking, and 2 down on the inning for
The right fielder, number
Luke
26.
Nagel.
I don't know what Herzog's looking for on that one.
Yeah,
That
I don't know.
fastball right on the outer part of the plate. I mean, second time he's gone down looking now. He's got to pull the trigger, especially with 2 strikes and runners on base. I mean, that drives you crazy as a coach.
Yeah,
That was just a fastball, too, right there.
window shopping there for Herzog as Nagel steps up. He doubled in his last at bat.
Yeah, that was a nice drive out to left field.
Woo! And runners will advance on the pass ball. That came off the bricks fast.
Yep.
Paulione couldn't get to it in time, and all of a sudden, Paulione and Lodge were about to run into each other.
Well, it almost kicked back and caught Nagel as he backed out of the box. Almost caught him by surprise. Now they're going to put Nagel on. That's probably not a bad idea with Searles on deck. Watch out.
Lodge is having some fun with Paulione there. I don't think Paulione thought it was nearly as funny as maybe Lodge might have. Lodge kind of a little bit of a smirk there as through that one. And now he's giving him as that'll load the bases. 2 down for, I don't know, let's see.
Searles?
Searles.
There, you want that?
Yep.
Well, yesterday Searles had a big double down the left field line, which he hooked on a pitch he was out in front of. He's been quiet today. He did reach on an error and score back in the second inning. Big spot here for their senior catcher.
And a big spot for him here. Not the best numbers, but does walk very often. So, I mean, if you could draw a walk here, that'd be pretty huge. As he fouls that one back into the backstop.
You got a good rip at it. First pitch fastball in the inner part. And here's the 0-1 to Searles.
Check swing up behind the catcher. They're going to hold the runners. Probably a smart move. Ball didn't travel that far.
Yeah, good job there by Brandon. When he blocked it, it kicked off to his right. He found it quick.
The 1-1. That's hit hard by Searles, but not deep. And Ezekiel Sanchez right there to make the grab. And they'll leave him loaded. We'll go top 5. 6-5 in favor of Boston. Back here for top 5 action. Sebastian Pettit alongside Colin Henrys. It's the big guy, Matt Curran, DHing for the Corsairs, looking to lead things off here. Curran, one of the better hitters on this Dartmouth squad throughout the tournament. Came into the championship at .455. And
he struggled with it today, a couple strikeouts.
Yeah.
He looked to get it started here for
good
Dartmouth.
at-bats. Count was full both times, I believe.
Yeah. Just went down swinging, one on a breaking ball, then one on a fastball. Right now, Dartmouth having a hard time slowing down the Beacons' offense. They've scored 2 runs in each of the last 3 innings. And I'd love if Mac could start something here, maybe get some momentum back on their side.
Here's the 0-1 to Curran. Check swing. Didn't go, 1-1. The 1-1 to Curran. Low, but close, 2-1. As that one's chopped back. Curran awaits the 2-2. It's way outside, full count.
This is Kaufman's 3rd inning, isn't it, that he's been in?
So the closer, don't really know what his range is, how long he has gone, what his longest outing is, but he'll deliver a payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, and the old sombrero for Curran.
Well, Curran on that one, he was bailing out. It looked like he was already heading down to first base when he took the swing, and he just came up empty. You got to stay in with it. Keep that front shoulder and that head down.
Your attention, please. Concessions and T-shirts. Last call. Everything's shutting down at 6:30.
As the first pitch to Paulione is fouled off.
Paulione had that big 3 RBI double his last time up. At the time, capped off that 4-run third inning.
As that one is laid off. 1-1. And the 1-1. Big swing there. Trying to put that one in Wyndham. That'll make it 1-2.
Yeah, I got to shorten up a little now with 2 strikes. Kaufman has his good off-speed stuff going. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to it, or we've seen him go to the high fastball.
The 1-2. Big swing again, and 2 strikeouts on the inning for Kaufman.
Smart pitching there. You know, he sees that Paulione's taking a big hack, as you said, and he's just stuck with the breaking ball.
Yeah. That'll bring up O'Neill, the 9-hitter. Does have a double so far today. As they'll give that a strike. 0-1 now to O'Neill.
He's really got that breaking ball going.
As that one's hit hard up the middle. And another weird bounce there. I don't know what that was.
I didn't say anything about a 1-2-3 inning because I didn't want to jinx it. But even thinking about it, must have jinxed it. Nice piece of hitting, though, right up the middle, O'Neill. That was way too good of an 0-2 pitch from Kaufman. I think he tried to sneak a fastball by him, and he wasn't fooled at all.
As the dugouts finally starting to get a little exciting.
Well, they got it back to the top of the order, that's why, and a guy that's kind of due, really. Last 2 times up, Nate Tellier struck out and grounded out to short.
Look at the gap between the center fielder and the right fielder.
Yeah, that's that positioning again. Even the right fielder's playing way in that right field gap. If Tellier, I mean, if he sprays one down the right field line or something, I mean, he's going to be running to 3 easily. And you're right, any kind of ball hit to center field or even a little bit towards right center, that's going to be trouble.
Yeah, I think even if I hit one to that gap, I could probably at least make it to second.
Right.
I don't know the last time when I ran was, but that's driven out to left center, ranging, and oh, he missed it. And the throw will come in, and that'll be 2 for Tellier. The throw home will be way high, and looks like Tellier will grab third. And
wow.
Some sloppy play by Boston there has let.
That should be an error. 2 errors, really.
Yeah. I mean, think of it this way. That pitch at 0-2, just right down the middle.
Right. I mean, and then it just snowballs. 0-2 pitch, base hit, and then Tellier.
Number 3.
They do. They rule an error on the center fielder, Frashino, who got there. And really had him played perfect.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the defense. I mean, they were shaded that way, and he was there on the run to make the play, and it just off the heel of his glove. And they might have even had O'Neill at home if Ramirez's throw was a little bit down, or excuse me, Hughie's throw.
Oh, and that one's hit into center. And Frashino, after that one, he'll grab that one. And not before Dartmouth gets a run back. It's now 6-6. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th here on Little East TV. And it'll be Frashino leading off. He's going to try to lay down a bunt and run it out. Good bunt toward the first baseman. He's going to try to dive into first, but will get tagged.
Oh, nice play. Fine first baseman work down there by Taylor Cacciola.
Frashino tried to matrix one out, and Cacciola was having none of it. And that'll bring up number 29, Charlie Hughey, the shortstop.
But that's hard play. I mean, Cacciola knows he has to come at it full speed, and he was smart to not try to go to the bag. He went right at the body of Frashino.
Hughey grounds one to third. Good grab there. The throw to first will be in time, but, I mean, just a little too far to the right, so.
That'll be a base hit.
Yeah, they're going to have to rule it a base hit. That was a nice.
I think Hughey would have beat it out anyways, even if it was a good throw. That's a tough play for Nell.
For the Beacons, second baseman number 14, Josh Lopez.
And that'll bring up Lopez, who was, I believe, hit by a pitch in his last at-bat.
Yeah, he wore it pretty solid, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Lopez, after the hit by pitch, was averaging about 6 claps per second as he looks at a ball outside, 1-0.
The whole Beacons team has been very enthused today, especially when they get rolling. I mean, Lopez, 395 on the season. He was a guy, too, that didn't even start some games. He played in 36, only started 29.
Runner goes.
Jeez.
Ooh, careful, ump. As that's a stolen base and runner in scoring position here for Lopez.
That was about as easy a steal as you're going to see. Hughey got a huge jump. 17th stolen base of the season for him. No chance for Paulioni behind the plate at all.
And that one's hit down the first base line. That would have been probably 3 if it was fair, but about a foot or so foul. As the count 2-1 now to Lopez. As the call from the dugout is back to Charlie Hughey as he takes a couple steps. Pretty decent lead for Hughey off second, but no one there to cover him either way. Sanchez kind of behind him, making some noise, trying to scare him.
Hughey wants to go to third. He keeps trying to time him up, but he can't quite get the right jump. Ben Lodge back out there, but they got action now. Another right-hander up and loosening.
As time's called. Surprise.
I mean, seriously, this is the same exact thing we had last night. It's just...
There's more of it. The 3-1. As that's hit through the gap into left. They're going to wave the runner home. Oh, no, they're going to hold him. Probably good because Zeke Sanchez out there has been throwing missiles.
Yeah, they were waving him at first, but then at the last second, the third base coach put the brakes on. I think you're right. When Zeke comes up with it cleanly, you don't want to be testing that arm.
Number 7, Dan Mantoni.
This will bring up
Designated hitter.
a DH, Mantoni. With 1 out here, runners on the corners. Mantoni does some pitching as well for the Beacons. Wouldn't be too surprised if we saw him possibly in the later innings.
Yeah, he threw earlier, right? He should be relatively rested. What day did he pitch? First or second day, right?
Second day, I believe. As that one is hit over the third baseman. A little chopper there. As Lopez will go for third. Oh, good throw down from Sanchez to Nell. And
that's just great speed by Lopez, going all the way from first to third on a ball hit right down the left field line. I mean, you don't see that, but that's just pure speed out of him. How many times have we seen that chopper over the third baseman today?
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. And maybe a sign here for these third basemen. If that's going to come more often, might be time to back up here. As
Yeah, maybe.
Speaking of backing up, here's a 400 hitter, Kyle Boudreaux.
Boudreaux had a nice single his last time,
408, jeez.
making him 2 for 3 on the game, just continuing to tattoo the ball, as you said, hitting over 400. The Beacons really rolling. They've scored in 4 straight innings now.
Check swing there. Strike either way.
Infield's got to come in.
As that one's chopped, and oh, what a grab there. And the play at first
Wow.
in time.
What a play, man. O'Neill.
Runner scores 8-6 Boston.
That saved probably a second run, as I'm guessing if that trickles into the outfield, Mantoni would have scored. Give Boudreaux the RBI on the 4 unassisted. You don't see that very often, but that was a fabulous play. I mean, talk about all-out effort. Then to get up and beat Boudreaux, who runs pretty well, to first base.
And here's Fowler. Fowler hit in 36 straight games.
So Mantoni had an RBI on that single, right? Because that was Hughie who scored. Okay.
As that one's fouled back into the backstop. 1-1 now to Fowler. On the season, 6 home runs, 10 doubles, 4 triples, 46 RBIs for Fowler leads this program. And I guess when you hit in every game, almost every game this season, that's kind of going to happen.
Seriously, right?
As that one's down the first baseline, foul. Good grab there by the Boston first base coach. Fowler awaits the 1-2. Swing and a miss, and inning over. But not before 2 more runs. The scoreboard for Boston, inning by inning, is 0-2-2-2-2. 8 hits, 8 runs, 4 errors. Strange scoreline here. 8-6 will go top 6 here on Little East TV. Mike now to lead off here in the inning as he hits that one. Hot shot toward third. Cannot be handled by Boudreaux, and Mike Nell's in there. And the offense will continue.
But we still haven't had a 1-2-3 inning. Half inning.
I don't know if there's any pitcher that's going to get through tonight unscathed.
It would be remarkable if somebody did. I mean, you'd look at the guys we've had. We've had great pitchers go, and they're just getting hit around right now. That's what I mean. The offenses have the edge as you move later into a tournament. I've been impressed with Dartmouth's resiliency here. I mean, you mentioned the 4 2s in a row.
Oh, that one's going to get chopped out
trouble.
to right. I don't think he's going to be grabbing that one. Heading to third is Nell. And Cacciola, single. Runners in the corners, nobody out. What's next? Zeke Sanchez. That's what's next. 364 hitter, 26 RBIs, 4 dingers, and 12 doubles make up the left fielder's batting statistics thus far.
You know what? Yeah, seriously, what are we going to see? We might as well just put a couple runners on base to start every inning.
Give it the international softball rule.
Seems like we get there anyway.
Start with a runner on second.
Man, now the hits are picking up, though. We're up to 15 hits total.
On 14 runs.
I know, it is. It's ridiculous. 14 runs, 15 hits.
And 6 errors. Don't forget the 6 errors.
Yeah, even in the Huskies game, there was some miscues defensively, wasn't there?
0-1 now to Sanchez.
To me, that's got to be just a result of fatigue and a little bit of the pressure building of getting later in a tournament.
That one's probably, that might stay. Now that'll go foul, but under it's Fowler.
Oh.
And trying to catch it in the basket. 0-2 now.
Fowler almost stuck his glove out, and that almost landed right in. I don't even know if he knew where the ball was. Well, Zeke's in an 0-2 hole here. He's hitless so far. He does have a sac fly and a hit by pitch, though, in this game.
That's upstairs. Looked like he started walking back toward the dugout a little bit.
I think it was just the way it bent him back. Cacciola at first, really one of the only guys that, well, doesn't run a lot. He does have 8 steals on the season.
Swinging a shot back foul.
But out of the guys that play regularly, he has the fewest. Him and Kenny Michael have 8 and 9, respectively. They have 5 guys with double-digit steals, 2 with over 20. Although Cacciola got banged up on his foot earlier, right?
Yeah. Swing and a miss there, and Sanchez goes down.
There's that
swinging.
That slider again from Kaufman. Man, that has been his nastiest pitch since he's come in.
Right fielder number 8, Kenny Michael.
I mean, his Ks are building. If he can induce a double play, he could get out of this unscathed.
And a throw back to first.
Both teams still have action in the pen. Left-handed for Boston. A couple of guys ready, I think, for Dartmouth. See if Ben Lodge comes back out next inning.
One now to Kenny Michael as all Kaufman had to do was look at first to get him to dive back that time. Must be a scary look in his eyes.
There's something, I know, right?
I don't know. The 0-1.
Oh, good pitch there. After a heavy dose of breaking balls on the outside corner, he comes to the inside. That was nice. Now he's got him set up. He could go elevated fastball here if he wants, Sebastian, or I wouldn't be surprised to see that slider on the outside.
I say give him the high heat.
Yep.
Oh, there it is.
You called it, yeah. Well, now he's got him set up. You're right. So now he goes high heat, and he's coming back with the slider.
Runners in the corners for the Corsairs. Here's the 1-2. Low,
Yeah.
2-2.
Good job laying off it. Kenny wasn't going to bite on it. Oh, man. Doubled it up on him.
Now here's Matt Curran.
That's devastating. Back-to-back sliders right off the edge of the plate. He laid off one, but couldn't lay off of that one. And now, well, I tell you, a guy ready to break out, it would be Matt Curran. He's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts in this one.
Oof. Well, I usually say they want to put it toward, they're trying to put it toward Wyndham, but Matt Curran being a lefty, looks like he's going more for the Westbrook route. 0-1.
He's bailing out. You know,
Yeah.
Can you see him kind of falling off towards his dugout when he's taking a swing? He's got to stay in it.
Struck out 3 times today. And trying not to decorate the sombrero as Curran, as that one is a little high for a 1-1.
If I feel that as a hitter, if I'm pulling out a lot, I just really tell myself, keep my head on the ball longer. Really, because if my head stays down, then that front shoulder should stay in a little longer as well, too.
That one's outside. Gonna hold the runners.
It'll be interesting to see if Kaufman goes to the slider here, even with the lefty. That's been his best pitch. And he did, man.
Yeah.
After first and third, he comes back to strike out the side. I think he got them all on sliders, too.
Yep. And Curran, that's his 4th of the day.
Maybe his... Oh, his 4th, yeah, strikeout. Strikeouts are building up. Boston pitching has quite a few today against the Dartmouth Corsairs.
All right, we'll take it bottom 6. 8-6 in favor of Boston, looking to tack on some more. It'll be Herzog leading off the inning, but we do have a new pitcher on the hill. It is number 25, Zach Reed, as that one is hit out to right. Underneath it is Kenny Michael, and he makes no mistake putting away Herzog. One down on the inning. Zach Reed, 3.44 ERA, 2-2 on the season. This is his 17th appearance. Does have a save on the season. Not really in contention to make one here. 16 strikeouts, 7 walks, and an allowed batting average of .221, Colin.
Well,
sorry, got
his job. No, you're fine. His job right now is just to try to put up a goose egg. I mean, Boston scored in 4 straight innings, 2 in each of those innings. I mean, Dartmouth's offense is doing well. They're getting guys on base. They put up 6 runs, but they got to find a way to slow down this Beacon team. Nagel's been locked in today. A walk, a double, and a walk. Intentional walk.
As he hits one hard to center. Tellier underneath it. Has some room and makes the grab.
Well, Nagel just got underneath that one. He hit it right on the barrel. A lot of distance, but a little too much height. Got underneath just a bit, and he's shaking his head. He knows he missed one. All right, I'm not even going to think it this time. Well, a good start here for Zach Reed coming out of the bullpen, just pumping strikes, seeing what these hitters can do. He knows he's in the bottom part of the order. And a guy like Searles now, who's 0 for 3, got to think he's coming right at him.
Two and 0 now to Searles. Swing and a miss there. 2-1 now.
Searles was going for it. Had a 2-0 pitch right where he wanted it, but swung underneath.
Full count now. And the pitch. Fouled back.
Good spoil there. That was right on the outer edge, and you can see Searles asking the umpire if that was going to be a strike, and I think it definitely would have been right on the edge.
We'll do it all again. Swung on and hit to right. That'll drop in there.
Again, same thing. Zach Reed coming at him with fastballs. We'll see if he changes up or if he just keeps pumping it, challenging Searles.
That one's fouled away.
Yeah, got a good battle going here. We've seen this a few
parking
times.
lot bound. Nope, that'll stop.
We've seen this a few times today where guys really fighting off pitches, staying alive in the count.
That one's chopped. Fair ball. Searles headed for second. Could even be 3. Nope, they're going to keep him there. Probably a good call.
Wow, nice at-bat there. All outside pitches. He fouled off a few and then just reached out and dropped it right on the chalk down the right field line. That's Searles' first hit of this one. For Searles, with that double, gives him now 10 doubles on the season.
Here's the pitch. Up high for ball 1. as that one's popped up foul toward the softball field. 1-1. That's in there for a called strike. 1-2.
Yeah, that looked like a pretty good pitch right on the outside corner. Froscino wasn't so sure, but he laid off and took it.
And here comes the 1-2. Up high, 2-2. And the pitch. Foul back.
Hey, another good fight off. Came inside that time with one. Froscino, you see he's got that choked up approach with 2 strikes, just shortening up.
Pitch from Reed. That one's popped up. Looks like Nell under it. Makes the catch and retires the side. So nothing there for either team, and we'll take it top 7. Corsairs need 2 to keep up with Boston. And Paulione down 0-2 in the count here to lead off the inning for the Corsairs. They need 2 runs to tie, 3 to take the lead, and a winner-take-all game. And he's going to get rung up on 3 strikes there. Not the start to the inning you want.
Yeah, we have a defensive switch, too, as another strikeout. Is this still Kaufman? He's starting to settle in now and really find it. Danny Brown has come into play right field for Luke Nagel. We've seen that switch
every game so far. Kind of was expecting it. As O'Neill, the 9, hit a...
Mostly it's a defensive switch, I would assume, and then... Because Nagel's really been locked in today at the plate.
Yeah.
But chances are Danny Brown, that spot may only get up one more time. with 3 innings to go, and they may not even need the bottom of the 9th at this point.
Well, I mean,
Not the way this one's going, we'll need it.
We might need the bottom of the 9th.
Sure we will, but
hopefully we don't need the 10th.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say we wouldn't have time for the 10th if we need it.
No, I hope we have time to get the 9th in. The 1-1. In there for a called strike.
That slider, man, he's got it going now. He was a little shaky as well when he came in, on relief of Tramondosi, but once he settled in and got that breaking ball going, he has been cruising along.
Swing and a miss there.
5 straight strikeouts now.
And the slider is sliding. This will bring up the one-hitter, Tellier.
I was just going to see what Kaufman's numbers were for this game. I mean, he's got to have 7 or 8 strikeouts now. 9 now? 8?
Well, by the time it hasn't probably haven't updated yet, but 8 strikeouts.
Oh, yeah, there it goes.
Yep, 9 strikeouts, 2 looking.
And 4 innings of work, man. Got to be one of his longest outings of the season, I would imagine. A guy that had 17 appearances, did have 49 innings, so, I mean, he's probably worked some extended innings. Did start a game as well, so he does have the ability to go deep. Showing strikeout stuff today when really on the season, Sebastian, he only had 25 strikeouts in 49 innings. He's got, what, 9 in 4 innings today?
So that one's popped up to right. And making the grab and ending the inning.
All right. Our first 1, 2, 3.
Well, it only took 3 hours. We'll go bottom 7. And Boston looking to plate some insurance runs here on Little East TV. And Charlie Hughey leading off at the bottom of the 7th here for the Beacons. They lead by 2 runs. The score 8-6. Winner with an automatic bid to the regional tournament at the Cape.
Hughey yet to be retired. Doubled, drove in a run in the 2nd, walked and scored in the 4th.
That one is hit up high. And Eric Ramirez under it makes the grab.
And he had singled and scored before that, so the first time he's retired. F6 goes to put out. Zach Reed back out there. He worked the last inning, only surrendered a double to Searles.
Second baseman, number 14, Josh Lopez.
That one's popped up and easy out there as Lopez pops up the bunt.
Yeah, I thought maybe a bunt was coming because I looked at Mike Nell and he was back, and
Number 7, Dan
I
Mantoni.
thought maybe Lopez would try it, and it was just a fastball too high. You got to really either lay off that one or really try to get on top of it, and he couldn't do either. 2 quick outs. Mantoni finally broke through his little slump he had been on with a single and an RBI in the 5th inning. Broke up an 0 for 3 day.
Oh, 2 now to Mantoni.
Ooh.
Up high.
Oh, a great catch there by Brandon behind the dish.
Oh, that's why they wear helmets.
That one would have been up into the netting, I think, if he didn't glove that.
Here's the 1-2. And that one in behind everybody. That one's hit hard. Could stay fair. Nope. Foul.
Yeah, that one stayed straight for a little while, right on that line, but a little bit of slice at the end of it.
And living to fight another pitch is Mantoni. He's worked a full count.
Oh, and Reed has missed. He's missed badly. 1 up high, and then 2, he hasn't even made it to the plate.
And Mantoni skies that one into shallow center. Having to make a run for it is Tellier, and makes the grab on his way to the dugout. So we'll go top 8. 6 more outs the Corsairs have to plate 2 runs, or Boston will be crowned LEC champions. All right, it'll be Eric Ramirez leading off this 8th inning. Sebastian Pettit here. I'm going to throw it over to Colin Henry. He's going to be the main guy. I have emptied my word bank for you guys over the last 4 days. Hopefully he's got something left for us here as an end to this thrilling tournament in sight. Colin.
Potentially. All right, ground ball to third on the first pitch, and a little lollipop throw in plenty of time from Boudris, and there's one away. Top of the 8th inning of this LEC championship. The Beacons looking for their first tournament title since 2010. One in which, fun fact, I started the game that they won for the championship. I didn't last long, let's put it that way.
Oof.
Because it was one of those cases where I had pitched earlier in the week,
Yeah.
and then we had kind of drained our pitching, and we started me on short rest, and they were a hot team, and they knocked me around a little bit early. We actually got a fabulous middle relief performance, a long relief performance out of Greg Holmes on that day that kept us in the game, but Boston ended up sweeping through the tournament, actually swept through the regional to make it to their first World Series back in 2010. They were a team that just got hot at the right time.
Yeah.
They had like 3 pitchers that got red hot all at once.
Uh-oh.
Bobble Boudris has to put a little mustard on this one this time, and he does just in time. But they had Ryan Walsh was a star player at second base, and they had an experienced catcher, and they had a couple other key pieces that were good. McCormick was a name in the outfield they had. It's kind of like a Lopez player, but played the outfield, just battled. And then they had a really good pitcher, but then they had like 2, 3, and 4 pitchers all like just clicked in the tournament. Guys that didn't do much during the regular season. They clicked in the Little East, they clicked in the regional, and they ended up getting to the World Series that year. I think they went 2-0 though in the World Series, but that was an incredible run by Coach Eigerbrot and that 2010 team.
Ooh.
Big swing and a miss there by Cacciola, again going for the downs, trying to put a run on the board with one swing. Kaufman now 9 Ks over 5 innings of relief work.
And I guess the question coming in was, can Kaufman go long innings? Generally a reliever, he's going to step off the hill here. And
he did work some as a starter, though, and I was looking at his numbers. I mean, 1 start, a couple of saves. He's thrown 49 innings in only 17 appearances, so that tells you he's worked multiple innings. Strike 3 called, another K. 10 on the day for Kaufman, the junior right-hander right now. 3 outs away from an LEC championship for the Beacons. We'll take a break. 8-6, bottom of the 8th inning coming up. Right now, Bryan Kaufman, the story of this game, in relief, officially 5 1/3 innings of relief work. 1 run was unearned, 4 hits, 10 Ks, no walks, Sebastian.
yeah, that's a stat line and a half, and I think that is going to be what makes the difference here, unless Dartmouth turns it around here in the 9th.
He was a guy that only had 25 strikeouts in 49 innings, so he was a 1 strikeout guy every couple innings.
Yeah.
He's got 10 in 5 today.
Well, I mean, you do the math there. He's increased his amount of strikeouts in this game, his season total, by 40% in one game.
I mean, he's working on what is that, like a 14 K per 9 today? 5 innings, 10 Ks? I mean, that's about right, 14. Zach Reed on the hill for the Corsairs has done a pretty good job as well in relief. He sat down the Beacons in order last inning and had a successful 6th inning as well for Reed in relief. He's up to 2 innings of work, only 1 hit. Here's Kyle Boudris, made a couple nice plays on the defensive side of things last inning. There's a hot shot down to first. Glove save and a beauty down there by Cacciola for the out.
Yeah, that could end up being a pretty important out there, as if that one gets down through there, could be 2, maybe more.
The first baseman, number
I mean,
4.
the last thing Dartmouth needs is another Boston run.
Yeah, that would have been a double, too, because the right fielder was way towards the gap, but I was just testing out my hockey call. Maybe I'll join Jim Ward in the booth next year.
Hey, you never know.
That's really the one sport I haven't expanded my broadcasting to yet.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to be able to work with Mr. Ward over there for a couple games, men's and women's.
It's
an experience.
It is an experience. That's a good way of putting it. When I first started, when I was an intern, I did a couple games with Jim, baseball and hockey, and he kind of showed me the ropes when I was first getting started. But full of energy. I mean, he has a lot of knowledge of hockey too. But hockey's tough. It's so fast.
Yeah, it's moving.
It's so fast. And the guys have helmets, so you can't see their faces, and they're changing players a lot.
Yeah.
If you don't know the players and you're not quick on your feet looking at your roster, it can be really hard.
Got to keep the roster in your hand at all times.
Yeah, that's why I like baseball. Nice and slow. Not quite. I don't like this slow, but this is a championship game, so we knew it was going to be a little bit slower.
We've crossed the 3-hour mark.
Yes, we have. 7:05.
Looking at 3:10 right now.
Bottom of the 8th inning. 8-6 our score.
Sped up significantly since the 5th.
It has, really.
Swing and a miss there, and Fowler will go down there.
That's the second time they've got Fowler, who's coming in, was it 35-game hitting streak now? Hitting over right around 400. But the middle innings, when Boston caught fire, they got 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, and 2 in the 5th. That's the difference right now. And the relief pitching of Bryan Kaufman, the junior. Bunt pulled back and taken on the outside corner. This is Nick Herzog. Danny Brown will be on deck if he gets a chance. So if they get Herzog, that Brown spot's not even going to come up potentially until the bottom of the 9th inning. Of course, he came on as a defensive replacement for Nagel. And Danny Brown's not a very good offensive replacement, only hitting 197, so he's in there for his defense. Swing and a foul ball. Off the hand of the umpire, I think. Maybe off the shoulder and then off the hand of...
Nah, it looked like hand.
Straight hand. That one hurts, too. I took one the other day when I was doing a game, because I kind of hold... You have an indicator, the little clicker.
Yep.
I kind of hold that down along my belt, and a foul ball came right back off the top of my hand.
No thanks.
No, it stung. Luckily, it was like an 8th grade game, so the velocity of the pitcher wasn't very hard. But man, yeah, that one, I was like, damn, if that was a high school game, that could have hurt. That one must have stung. Luckily, he's got gloves on. 0-2 to Herzog. Here's the pitch from Reed. Fastball fouled out of there. In the 9th inning for the Dartmouth Corsairs, needing 2 to extend this game and their season, it'll be Ezekiel Sanchez, Kenny Michael, and who's going to be due up third? Matt Curran, who struck out 4 times today, will have a chance. Oh, that one gets him. A curveball that just spun out of the hand of Zach Reed, and so with 2 outs, the Beacons have a base runner, and it will be Danny Brown.
Now batting the right fielder, number 37,
And
Danny Brown.
I guess looked like the UMass Boston dugout kind of took exception to that one for some reason. I mean, we have the window.
I don't know.
It was like the umpire was giving the hand to some of the guys in there.
It may have been the number 4. Yeah, I was wondering the same thing too, because this one's popped up, not going to be in trouble. But I was wondering that too, because it looked like there was some chirping going on.
Yeah.
But I think he was just signaling for baseball. So, all right, we'll head to the 9th inning of this LEC championship game. A tournament bid on the line. The Beacons need 3 outs to wrap up their 2nd tournament championship in school history. We'll take a break, and we'll be back. I'm guessing Kaufman's coming out for another inning when we come back. All right, back for the 9th. It is Bryan Kaufman back out there. You've been watching the Little East Conference Tournament all week here with Sebastian Pettit, Wolfie Bogle, and Colin Henry. And we will be wrapping it up, well, possibly in 3 outs. If not, if the Corsairs can get 2 runs, we'll keep it rolling. If they get 3 and take the lead, then it'll be up to the Beacons to come back in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Beacons looking for their 2nd conference championship, the last coming in 2010. That was down in Eastern Connecticut. That year they went to the World Series as well. A Beacons win would lock them into the NCAA Regional, and also it would probably give the Huskies a fairly sure chance. Tough hop out there, short, long throw in time. What a play out there. Charlie Hugie making it look easy.
Yeah, Hugie been pretty good at short today, and definitely making up for some of the mishaps that the Beacons have encountered today. 4 errors, but have been able to overcome those and route to what will be a conference championship if they can get 2 more outs here.
Yeah, 2 of those errors came on that same play, the one in the outfield that Frashino dropped the ball and then they threw the relay away. But Beacons, I would think, looking at the rankings in New England, possibly would be the #1 overall seed. I think coming into the conference tournament, they were #1 up there with USM. Was it USM
Yep.
1 and 2? And
Huskies 1, Boston 2.
Okay. Could possibly flip that. Not sure what
miss there to Kenny Michael.
What's the NESCAC? One of the NESCAC teams must have been up there. Salve or Tufts, was that up there?
Salve's in the Triple C.
Right, but they won, you
Yeah.
said, right? So they would be in. Be interesting to see how it would shape up. If Dartmouth comes back and wins this game, then we're talking possibly 3 teams, or maybe USM or Boston getting snubbed. Swing and a miss.
11.
Kenny Michael can't believe he missed that one. Strikeout number 11, and the Boston Beacons are 1 out away from the championship. It would be win number 32 on the season for the Beacons if they can get it. Matt Curran now, the DH, came in red hot, but is 0 for 4 today with 4 Ks. Takes strike 1 right down Broadway. He'll try to extend it for the catcher, Paulioni. Here's the 0-1. In there, strike 2 right at the belt. 0-2 the count. Bryan Kaufman.
You think he swings at this one?
I would hope if he gets another one like that. The Beacons dugout ready to storm the field down to their final strike. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. The Beacons win the LEC Tournament Championship for the 2nd time. 12 strikeouts for Bryan Kaufman. Sebastian, obviously he's the game MVP, but man, that might be the best performance we saw all tournament.
Yeah, that's probably, I think that's easily the highest strikeout total. An amazing performance by Kaufman and this Beacons team. Defeated in their, I believe, their first game of the tournament, or their 2nd game, and able to kind of claw their way back throughout.
I think they lost the 2nd game to Dartmouth, right?
And have been clawing their way back ever since. So that'll do it.
Unreal.
An automatic bid into the regional. And now for Husky fans, we wait. UMass Dartmouth season most likely done, I would say.
Yep.
And it's now waiting season for the Huskies. They'll find out tomorrow, I believe.
Tomorrow or Monday, usually it comes out. But 25 wins on the season for Dartmouth. A good season for them as they get a round of applause for their troops. The Beacons win the championship. They move on to the New England Regional, where they will look to make it back to the World Series as they did in 2010. Well, that's going to wrap us up here from USM. Maybe we'll leave the video stream going for you so you can catch some of the awards after the fact here. But we're going to sign off. We want to say thank you for joining us all week long. Thank you to everyone here at USM that made all this happen. Thanks to all the fans that made it up here to Gorham. That's going to do it for this year, at least for now, until the NCAA tournament. That'll do it for us here at Ed Flaherty Field. What a year it's been. We will see you back here in 2000. 18 for baseball, but we'll hopefully see you guys around somewhere.
We'll see you in the fall.
All right, have a great summer, everybody, and follow along. The NCAA tournament starts next week. Beacons will be the champions. Huskies should be there as well from the Little East. Again, the final, 8-6. The Beacons are LEC champions.